Today, I'm going to be flipping through the latest sticker books from Amy Plans Things and doing a fun but simple Dutch door spread in my 8x8 journal. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are here for the first time, my name is Tracy and I like to have a lot of fun with stickers, stamps, decorative paper, washi, stencils, and all kinds of fun little things to creatively decorate my journals and planners. So if that sounds like something that you may be interested in, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button and maybe even checking out a few of my other videos. So as I said in the intro, I have two brand new sticker books from Amy Plans Things. These are the Rainy Day Bookshop books. This is hand-drawn stickers, and then this is a book, a whole bunch of creative papers and trackers and fun things like that. I do want to mention that her books tend to sell out really fast. I mean, within a day type fast, especially the hand-drawn stickers, but both of these usually sell out within a day. I'm not trying to scare you into buying things. I'm just kind of letting you know in advance of what to expect. She is a very small shop. While she did restock the sticker book for the last collection, she doesn't always restock the creative trackers. So if this is something that you see, you definitely want the physical books of these, then you may want to purchase early. These go on sale on Tuesday, February the 10th at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I do have a discount code for you guys. I will pop it up on the screen. It is AGWP10. That works both on her physical website as well as her Etsy shop. And for those of you that like printables, or if you are not able to pick this up because they sell out, these are available as printables, which is something I really love about her shop. I love the option of doing either a printable or a tangible, because with printables, you can print things out in different sizes. We'll talk more about that, especially when we start flipping through this. But I will have all of the release information and product information down in my description box. So let's go ahead and take a look at these first. Now, these are all hand-drawn stickers. I don't know if I mentioned that. That is very important, by the way. So yes, she does draw these by hand, which means these are unique. You're not gonna be able to find them somewhere else. So these are the actual sticker books. And if you don't know Amy from Amy Plans Things, she loves doing Dutch door spreads. So you will see there are going to be a lot of stickers in here that are going to be mirrored images of one another, so that way you can use them in your Dutch door spreads. Now these are all on clear. And then we have some windows with the lamp, the floor lamp. So again, you can use these for a Dutch door. And then we have some scenes. These are still all on clear here. And then we have another scene, like this bookshelf here is the mirrored image of that one. This one I have to see. This one might be close to the same size as that to make that kind of, you can use both of those on opposites. Of course, you can tell that these two are mirrored images. And then you have another scene. We're still on clear stickers. So you have the bookshelf here. You have the bookshelf here. I think those are in the same direction though. You do have to double check some of them. All of them will not be mirrored images. There's another sign there if you wanted to use that for the Dutch door. Then we have our functional. So you have your days of the week, you have your dots, you have, these are just like squares, decorative squares that you can use for layering. And then you have two sets of dates. So the 1st through the 31st. And then we have your boxes. And then we have your sticker strips. There we go here, so you can kind of see how they are. So obviously these are on paper, as were the boxes. This is also on paper. So this is some like layering kind of pieces that you can use. So you have your tags and things like that. And now we have our clusters. So all of these images are images that you can find here. So you can actually recreate this if you wanted to make more than one of these clusters. But I do like that they're already done for you. Makes life so much easier, doesn't it? The pages. And then we have some vertical boxes here. So some decorative vertical boxes. We'll have to use those in my planner. And then these are on paper. These are like your smaller elements. So again, these would work for Dutch doors. I would have to play around to see if these are, I don't think, well, these you should be able to use. Some of these are sort of symmetrical, but even if they're not, because it's a scene, you can get away with cutting around them a little bit larger. So you could still do that. But these are just kind of your general basic little elements here. And there we go. So that is the sticker book. Now we're going to get to the Moments and Moods, a book of creative trackers. This has 23 pages of trackers and inserts plus 10 scrapbook papers. So for those of you that have seen some of my other videos, know that I used some of these in both my affirmations journal for the month of February, the February release I did, as well as in my wellness journal. So this is what I want. This is how I wanted to talk. By the way, this is all on paper, but I wanted to chat with you guys about the printable version of this, because if you buy this as a printable, and you can get the trackers as a printable, you can purchase the papers separately as a printable, or you can buy it all together. So there is that option as well. You can't buy like the one tracker by itself. It's like you have to buy the trackers, but because they're printables, they're also a lot cheaper. So it's a really good deal. Plus you get them in multiple sizes. So this is an A5, so you will get the A5. You'll also get classic size. You'll get letter size. And I think there was another size that I'm thinking of. It was it the Daily Grind, I think was the other one. So that is the advantage if you do have the capability of doing a printable. I will also say, for those of you that caught my wellness video in particular, I altered some of these to kind of fit my needs. Like some of these you can easily use as is in your planners or your journals or what have you. But I definitely altered some of these. Like this, I used mainly just the calendar because that's all I had room for on the page. So I used the decorative elements elsewhere. I've also used this as something other than a weekly kind of like layout. I hid the days of the week and just use them as a place where I can make lists and things like that in my journal. So definitely there are other ways to use this rather than for like weekly plans or whatever like these. You can easily cover those up with boxes or what have you, or another sticker to use it as is. And those were full page sticker sheets, by the way. So these all, that's the advantage too. These are all stickers. Everything in here is a sticker, including these. So these are decorative papers, but they're decorative sticker papers. There we go. Perfect, right? So cool. Oh, I actually got to show them to you. I was getting ready they were so cool. I was getting ready to just start using them. So we have a lot of, I love these because I think they could go very, very well with whatever you use as your stickers and your design. And then you have, this is the one that has some of the elements that are in the sticker book. And then you have the brick wall. We also have, this is like extra, like a bonus release. These are single sticker sheets that you can also get. These are all on clear. So these are Crown Whimsy. These are like doodles, but look how cute they are. They're so cute. So yeah, if you're definitely thinking about picking up stuff, always just check the website to see what else she offers, because she does offer these like single sets and single sticker sheets as well, in addition to her sticker books. So let's talk about today. I would like to use this reading themed stickers or book themed stickers in one of my reading journals. And this is my supplemental reading journal. So this is not my main reading journal. This is where I do reviews of my series. After I started doing reviews of my series, I realized I wish I had more intro pages than I did. So I'm now like creating stuff from the back. So like I created a series tracker and things like that. I think I'm going to just create a fun Dutch door page back here. I don't really know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I know that I'm going to need other things to track as far as series goes. Because every time I get in here, I think, ooh, I wish I had more in the front. So now I'm just going to create them in the back. I want to do this versus using it like in my affirmations journal or what have you, because I really like this journal and I really want to use these cute stickers in this journal. Y'all know when you have some of your favorite journals, sometimes you want to use like some of your favorite stickers in those journals. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to use some of the papers, but we're going to do the stickers. So this is going to be the very last page in the Dutch door. So this will not be cut. I don't know that I'm going to do several. I think I'm going to just do a few Dutch door pages, but I am actually going to go old school and pull out my wax paper. It's old school for me because I haven't done this. I have this whole roll of wax paper and I can't even remember the last time I pulled this out, but I think it's easier as I start flipping through to figure out what I want. I know from the get-go, I want these. All right, so I pulled the elements I knew I wanted to use for the Dutch door. I think I'm going to use some other things around it, but this is definitely going to be the main part of the cutout. So what I want is I want the window in the very back, then I want the bookshelf, then I want the chair. So I want the chair to look like it's in front of the bookshelf, and then I want the window. So I got to figure out how that would work. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. There's only one window like this here. So I pulled this window that says book. So this is inside and it's smaller, right? Can you see? So like it's a little bit smaller all around, but then we have these books. So couldn't these books be like sitting in front of the window? And that helps match it more lengthwise, not necessarily widthwise, but I think it could work that way. So I might try to do that for that because I really want the window. So let's chat about the placement. All right, this is, like I said, my series tracking, my series review journal. So I've already added stuff to the back. I want to add more stuff to the back. Just not 100% sure what yet. So that's why I'm going to be very simplistic with these Dutch doors. I don't want to cut too much off or add too much to it. So I'm just going to keep it simple. You can do simple Dutch doors. So because I was only using 3 main elements for my Dutch door, not counting the scrapbook full page paper that I end up using, but the 3 elements, the window, the bookcase, and the chair, in theory, this should have been a very simplistic and simple to create spread. Now, it would have been if I just like put the elements like evenly spaced apart and then just cut around them and called it a day. However, I kind of wanted it to look more like a scene. So think of it as like a cozy reading nook. I wanted the window to be in the background, and then I wanted the bookcase to be right in front of that, and I wanted it to kind of, overlap a little bit with the window just to kind of give that multi-dimensional effect. And then I wanted the chair to be positioned kind of in front of the bookcase. So that added a little bit of difficulty because I needed to get the placement right. Now, fortunately, with a dot grid journal, you will see me where it looks like I'm just like pointing at the page. I'm counting the dots. So that way I kind of could figure out the best position for this because I wanted to place all the stickers down before I started cutting. Just because most times when you cut, if you cut too much, it's very hard to remedy that. However, that's not always the case, as I will show you momentarily. But yeah, that is the reason why I went ahead and did it like this. So right now, with that very last Dutch door that I'll be cutting, which is the window, I was like, I feel like there needs to be something above it. Now, I know on the very back page that I won't be cutting, it's going to have the brick is what I chose for the piece of scrapbook paper. I will have that in the back. So it's not going to be a blank white space. But there were those really cool photos that I was like, I can do it to look like it's hanging on the wall above the window. So initially I, wanted to kind of stagger it from the window. But then I realized, well, if I stagger it, you're not going to see it when I have the other pages flipped. Like you're only going to see that photo when I have the page open to this page. So then I had to put the piece that I cut off back to the page and stick the sticker on it. Now what I did is I just like lined it up and just stuck this clear sticker on top. You will see on the back side, I do just go ahead and put a piece of Scotch tape down first before I put the other sticker. So it was a really, really easy fix. It wasn't that difficult, but I just think it was funny that like I was trying to be so cautious and I didn't want to cut any of the pages until I had all the sticker placement down, and then the very first cuts I made ended up being wrong. That always happens, right? But I just wanted to show you that you can change things. There is no mistakes. And worst case scenario, it would have just been the window that hung out from that Dutch door, and I could have just moved that photo further inward so you wouldn't see it at all when you're on the other pages. So it just had been a standalone decoration on that one door and wouldn't have been a part of the actual Dutch door design. So that was also another option that I could have done. Or I could have placed the photo on the very back page after I placed the brick, I was gonna say brick wallpaper, but the brick scrapbook paper. So that is also another option. So there's always options when you like are starting to design, start cutting, and you're like, ooh, I wish I would have done that. There are always workarounds. Just remember that. As I always say, you know, you don't really make mistakes when you're creative journaling. There are always ways to kind of work around it and sometimes make it even better than it would have been before. So yeah, now you can still see me adjusting things a little bit. I was going to move the chair a little bit further over, then I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, let me move the lamp further over. So that way the lamp is now going to also be a little bit in front of the bookcase, which is going to be behind it. So again, it just adds some dimension. That's all I wanted to do. That's the entire point of this. I know. A lot less simple, but you know, sometimes my brain goes into overdrive, and when I say simple, things just change. But yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the actual Dutch door. I did want to go ahead and create everything first on the front side, and then after everything is cut, it is super easy when you have the mirrored images just to place it perfectly on the back side, and everything fit perfect. So I didn't have to do much cutting. There were a few of the stickers I wanted to cut a little bit closer in and not have the border around, so I did have to cut those a little bit. And then the window, which was only the single window in that sticker book, I was able to almost perfectly fit this other window layered with the books on the opposite side of that. So it ended up working perfectly. What I did is I had to cut around the window a little bit so that way the books, you couldn't see the window behind the books, just because in actuality the books are solid, so you wouldn't be able to see the window through the books. That's what I meant. Now what I could have done is just put it on some white sticker paper and then cut around that, but I just decided to cut around the window and go from there. But it worked really, really well. So that was a fun little thing that happened during this spread. Okay, so now you will see me adding the scrapbook paper. Now, what I realized once I started doing this was, because I'm not filling the entire Dutch door with stickers and I'm only using a few stickers on each of the pages, there needs to be something. Usually this is when I would add washi to kind of almost do like a waterfall tab effect. But I was like, you know what? I really like this brick wall aesthetic. So let's just extend the brick wall onto this back Dutch door page as well. So that way it just looks like a continuous a continuous brick wall. So that's the reason why I did that. Now I did have to like cut around the stickers and things like that, because again, this was a decision that I made after I've done everything. Although because these are clear stickers, I would have had to cut around them anyway. So I guess that really wasn't that much of a difference whether I did it before or after. Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm rambling. So yeah, that's going to be pretty much it as far as this goes. Now I'm just pretty much going to be trying to fill in the areas above and below the stickers that were for the Dutch door. So you can see me using this sticker strip here, just because this one I felt like needed something a little bit more. But for the other ones, I'm just going to use a single strip of washi and call it a day. And then you will also see me just add just a few decorations to a few of the pages, because like I said, this is going to be mainly a functional spread. So that is pretty much it. So I'm going to just kind of let you watch the final touches, and then I will come back to wrap everything up. All right, guys, there we go. Final flip through. So you can kind of see how everything went. So this was, even though it took me a while and there were little hiccups, this was a very simplistic version of a Dutch door. There wasn't as many cutouts and things of that nature here. Also, I did not overly decorate this because I'm probably going to be drawing tables and charts here, because this is what this journal is for series tracking, and I'm going to be using this very functionally. But I figured, why not do a Dutch door in here? Because why not? You know, it's fun, right? All right, guys. As a reminder, everything came from the Rainy Day Bookshop sticker books. These are going to be available on February the 10th, starting at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. If these sell out, you can still grab the printable versions. I will have all of the information down in the description box, as well as my discount code AGWP10, which will save you 10%. All right, guys, if you enjoyed this video, please press that like button. If you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. That is all I have for now. I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening or night. Until next time, bye.